Is your vagina on fire? That's why I'm making this video. I'm a pelvic health specialist. I've worked with over 1,000 clients. Many of them are women who have experienced vaginal burning or burning in their vulva or burning on and around the vulva as well. The thing is, if you've had a panel done, you've worked with doctors, you've had a medical team look at bacterial infections, sexually transmitted infections, pathogens, and nothing is being found, then it's important to realize that the brain and nervous system can create the sensation of burning in your vagina, just like it can create this pressure to go pee, that urinary frequency, even if there's nothing really in your bladder. Your brain can also create pain in parts of your body. It can give you headaches. Have you ever had a headache created because there was something you didn't really want to do? So your body and your brain was doing this for you to kind of distract you away from it. Ultimately, your body and brain has the ability to send you this message and tell you that something needs to be heard, something needs to be listened to, that underlying stressors are at play. And that's what I'll get to in a moment. If you're really not sure though, hey, is this actually structural? Is something a pathogen, cancer, some sort of tissue damage causing this? Or could it be neuroplastic? Could it be that it's brain created due to these underlying stressors? We actually have a self-assessment linked up in this description below. It'll take you through different areas, such as the FIT assessment: functional, inconsistent, and triggered. Functional meaning, does it actually behave the way a structural burning sensation would be produced? And then inconsistent, does it change in the location, in the way, and how often it varies in its presentation? And triggered, do you see your symptoms triggered more often when at work or at home or when you're around your mother or some sort of situation like that? And these are giving you clues that it's neuroplastic. So definitely check out that assessment, and that could be very helpful for you. The thing is, a neuroplastic symptom is very real. It's not that you're making it up in your mind. It's neurophysiology. The brain is creating it via the nervous system and showing it physiologically in your body as that sensation that's super uncomfortable. Some would call it painful even, depending on how you're experiencing it. The question is, why is it happening? And it could have started initially due to a bacterial infection, and then it stuck around. Some people have these persistent UTIs, as an example, or they were afraid that they got a sexually transmitted disease or sexually transmitted infection, an STI, but it actually didn't happen, but it stuck around. So that neural pathway was learned, and then it continued to be activated due to stressors. And then we look at stressors, what's been going on, what was going on around the time this started or leading up to it. And maybe you've been more stress prone. Everything from unresolved emotions, just accessing and listening to how you're really feeling about a situation, being in psychological conflict about something but afraid to say it out loud, just not feeling safe in general, putting a ton of pressure on yourself to perform, perfectionistic, giving and giving and giving to others but not to yourself. There are a lot of things that can add stress and constriction to your body and lead you in this direction if you look at that type of imbalance. So what can you do about it? If you work with me in our program, I'll give you an idea of what we do. You could do that through our program, working with us, or you could do something on your own. And the idea is, first, relax. Relax. There's nothing wrong with your body. It may feel very uncomfortable. The symptoms are real, but there's no structural damage, nothing really causing it other than the brain. And that means it can also change. That's what neuroplastic means. Also calming the nervous system, doing things that really relax the mind and the body and bring you into presence. That could be grounding and lying down on the grass for 10 minutes. It could be doing a yoga class. It could be dancing. It could look different for everyone. But it's no longer just trying to fix and figure this out, going to 5 more doctors, trying 10 more treatments. Whenever you're like, oh wow, this is actually stress created. There are underlying root causes that need to be looked at and listened to and released, and this doesn't have to be here in my body anymore. And also symptom reprocessing. So when you're experiencing the burning or other types of symptoms, going into non-reaction, meaning that there's like this underlying annoyance and discomfort, and there's a part of you that just wants it to go away, can't stand that it's there. Actually allowing it to be there exactly as it is. You can use a tool called somatic tracking. We have some of those somatic tracking audios in our program that you can use, or doing something similar to it. This helps you to take the fear out of experiencing the symptoms, stopping that fear pain cycle or that fear dysfunction cycle, which perpetuates symptoms for much longer. Now for some, they're good, their symptoms go away. But if not, we have 2 other steps that you could walk towards. The second would be reveal. And reveal is taking some time aside, doing some practices, some things that help you to look inside yourself. What's actually been going on? Are there any emotions that you haven't been listening to? Are there any situations, any patterns, any addictions, any habits, any fears that you're avoiding? What have you been anxious about? And it's kind of taking a personal inventory. Such as in our program, we have a personal inventory. We have emotional exploration practices. We have journaling. We have meditations and breath works. You could work with a psychotherapist who is mind-body informed. That would be ideal if you wanted to do that, or do this on your own. But you're putting yourself in space and silence so that you're not just distracting yourself more and more and more, trying to fix this. So many activities, looking at my phone, reading more emails, getting on social media, watching, like everything you can, because it's so painful, so uncomfortable. If you stop distracting yourself and you just stop and you listen to the message that your body has for you, you'd be kind of amazed at what comes through. And the next step, we call it release. Release is really whenever these things arise, whether you notice that you've been putting pressure on yourself because you need to be the perfect business owner and you need to hit certain goals, or you need to be an amazing mom, or whatever it is. Like maybe you have pressure to keep up with standards and expectations that other people have for you, and you realize, wow, that's just not loving to me. So notice where you're not being loving to yourself and find those gaps. And people talk about self-love a lot and compassion. And honestly, this is very important, but you build towards it. You don't just look at yourself in the mirror and say, like, I love myself. You can. But I mean, you notice, how do you talk to yourself in your mind? What do you say about yourself? And do you prioritize yourself, or do you think that it's selfish to do so? Maybe it's self-full to take care of yourself so that you can take care of others as well. So you're giving yourself the opportunity to release and let go, and even feel these emotions. Feel the things that maybe the message is, you could say. And again, you can do different practices, go to retreats, do meditations. You really do need to carve out some time, space, and silence. You can even use other modalities like TRE, tension and trauma release exercises, EFT tapping. You can look into somatic modalities and practices that just help that mind-body connection. And you're not trying to fix yourself. It's not that you have to fix yourself emotionally or mentally in order to physically be okay, but you're recognizing things that maybe you were avoiding, and you're letting yourself feel them without stopping the discomfort, letting it pass through, and your body just returns back to balance and harmony, which is what we usually see. So hopefully this was helpful, just a little bit of information on what you can do if you're having vaginal burning, but there's no clear, medical reason why that you're experiencing it. It's very real, but it also can go away. You could definitely do the program that we have for women. It's linked up below. It's a 12-week guided experience. It has all the tools, it has the path all laid out, plus you get coaching support so you can ask questions and get help the entire way. That's possible, or look at some other resources that we have on the YouTube channel. Hopefully this was helpful. Let me know. Take care.